Patch 7 is only a few days away from the official release. According to rumors, the update will be available between April 12th and 17th. Okay, that's not a couple days away. What are your expectations? Gameplay, bug fixes, new content? Alright, I will say I am expecting the patch sooner than later. I will say that. Because obviously we've seen the boss fight in the new operation. I have a feeling they wouldn't show that off if there was too much time in between the PTS and the actual patch. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the patch next week, is basically how I would gauge when we should see the patch. I would be pretty surprised if we saw the patch tomorrow. That likely is not going to be the case. I still see, yeah, getting the patch next week is probably the most likely option. But okay, what are my expectations? I don't really have any expectations since I played the PTS. I will say patch 7 is going to be very, very good. I think patch 7 has a lot of good stuff in it. Obviously, the Space Wolves, the Space Wolves Vanguard champion armor here is pretty cool. But for me, the most requested feature that is coming in patch 7, the most important feature in patch 7, the best thing coming in patch 7 isn't the weapon reworks. It is not the weapon buffs. It is not the prestige perks, even though all those things are very great and things that I'm looking forward to. What I'm really looking forward to in patch 7 is roll queue. Now, in the PTS, when you queue up as, let's say, Bulwark or Vanguard or whatever class you like playing, when you queue up as a specific class, you are going to be matched in games that do not have that specific class picked, which is great. I'm super excited for this. Honestly, the roll queue was one of those things I've been basically praising since the game came out. I've been saying that we needed it. I've been saying that this is the single most important thing we need in the game to fix matchmaking. And I think it actually did. I genuinely think that you are going to get less dead games. You're going to be matched with games that are actually expecting you to join as your favorite class. That's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. Because there's a lot of people who jumped onto the game, they just want to play heavy, heavy's picked, and then they have to go find a game. It could be 20 to 30 minutes before they find a game without a heavy. It can possibly even be worse, who knows? But yes, with all that said, I just want to point out that the roll queue is a huge deal with patch 7, and it works. It works practically flawlessly. The only times matchmaking has been a little bit weird in roll queue is when it takes too long to find you a game that, that doesn't have the class you're using. Sometimes it can take too long, and you'll just join a player who's just standing by at the battle barge. So that's like the worst case scenario, is you join a game with somebody who's not really playing the game. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for patch 7. We have a lot of good stuff in it. The PTS, everything from the PTS looks clean. It looks good. Like, honestly, if the patch released tomorrow, there shouldn't be any bad things happening. It should be perfectly fine. We have very different views on what a few days is. Yeah, I agree. A lot of people had a comment like this. I don't expect this to be addressed, but once the update hits, I'll make a post about it. The topic being plasma weapons and the perks that imply a synergy. There's 2 increase ammo by 20% and reduce ammo cost of charged shots by 2. For both perks, the tail end says for energy weapons. Every other gun in regards to ammo increases from perks says for this weapon. So having the text the perks do on the plasma ones implies they work together for a total of 40% ammo and 4 charged shot ammo cost. Oh, -4 charge. Wait, that would make charged shots free though, wouldn't it? -4 ammo for a charge shot. It normally takes like 3, right? Something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not like a plasma expert. I've actually started to play a lot of heavy, and I've been playing a lot of heavy plasma. So I've been just learning my way around that weapon. That's an interesting theory. I don't understand why this is kind of like a point that needs to be made, though. I'm not saying the synergy working is a necessity, but I'd like it to happen as a perk synergy like this would be neat. And I'm addicted to having a bunch of ammo. This wouldn't really be a broken buff either, as you are hindered by overheat. All I truly want is either to make the synergy work if it's intended, and to change the text to for this weapon like the others if it was never intended. Okay, this is an interesting point, an interesting detail that they noticed. I've never heard anybody really talk about this. I don't think it's 100% a priority or anything that really needs to be changed. I do think they have a point with the wording, obviously, and what the perks should do. It does sound a little bit overpowered. It just obviously wasn't intended to be that way. At least that's how I see it. This isn't really a patch 7 specific concern, though, to be completely honest. The biggest thing for me would be better matchmaking and stability. I can deal with over or underpowered weapons with broken perks with unfair enemies, but I can't deal with a game that sometimes seems to really discourage me from playing. Interesting. Yes, matchmaking and stability can definitely be a little bit frustrating. I will say in the PTS, I have not crashed. In fact, overall, the PC performance has been a lot better. And yes, the PTS definitely feels pretty smooth. There's one issue I had where a biovore could spawn and then cause my game to lag. It would like basically spike lag whenever a biovore spawned, but it wasn't. Okay, I'll reframe that, because it wasn't whenever a biovore spawned. It was when the first biovore spawned. When the first biovore spawned of the session, it would lag my game a little bit. Now, with the patch 2 PTS, I have not seen that, so that might not be a big deal. But yes, as I was saying in the beginning of this video, matchmaking is in a much better spot. So if bad matchmaking, if bad matchmaking discourage you from playing the game, it is definitely improved, and it definitely won't discourage you. As far as, you know, if you're trying to join games with a class that you want to play, yeah, you're going to see a lot of that, which is nice. I can't guarantee matchmaking is just going to place you with perfect teammates or anything, but I can say that matchmaking is going to put you in a position where you don't have to second guess if you can play the class you want. You will be able to pick tactical and jump into a game that does not have tactical. That is huge. That is the biggest change for patch 7 for me personally. I do like the weapon perk reworks. I do like some of them. I would say I like most of them. I like the fact that they took out the chaos and the tyrannid perks for the weapons. I think those perks were rather frustrating to deal with, because you would practically have to respec depending on what operation you were running. That said, it did go far away. It did go far away. That 10% extra damage to Tyranids did kind of help out for those Tyranid missions. But I will say I'm confident that the weapons that we have now, the weapon reworks in the PTS, are, if they're not just as powerful as what we had, they are more powerful than what we had. They confirmed mid-April. Confirmed means week 3 of April. Apparently from one of the community managers, maybe, Hilya. Confirmed means week 3 of April. So I tried to look for confirmation on this. I did not find any. So I'm not surprised that I didn't hear that the patch was supposed to be released week 3 of April, or it's planned to. This is interesting. This is definitely a little bit disappointing, though, if this is true, because right now we're in week 1 of April. Yeah, about 2 weeks away. I mean, honestly, that does sound about right, though, to be completely honest. I just figured that we would get the patch sooner, because it seems like it's ready. You know what I mean? Like, it's ready to drop, and then they have everyone fighting Trigun. You don't want all your PC players to feel like they played the patch already. Not to mention, we're not 100%. We don't have 100% of a confirmation of what they're adding to patch 7. Like, some of the stuff they just tried out, you know? We're not 100% sure how exactly patch 7 is going to look after we basically get all of the feedback from the PTS. Patch 7 is going to look very interesting. I'm very excited to see what is on the patch 7 patch list, patch 7 patch notes. But yeah, week 3 of April, yeah, I mean, that does sound right, I will say, but it would be cooler if we got the patch a little bit sooner, right?